In this video, we're taking a deeper dive into the Christmas classic, Angels We Have Heard on High. It's a Christmas carol, but it lends itself really well to a jazz arrangement. So what I've done is I've reharmonized it. I'm going to hand over the sheet music, put a link below so you can download it and practice it. And the chords that I've written out for you are a pretty good indication of the reharmonization that I put in the chord symbols on top of each bar. So what I'm going to do in this video is take it a little bit further than we did in tutorial 1 and discuss some of the soloing strategies. So as a solo piano player, you want to do more than just play the melody. You want to take it, stretch your imagination a little bit, and play some other melodies on top, which is essentially the whole concept behind soloing. So I'm going to give you some strategies on how to do that. Let me play it for you through once, a couple of courses of solo so you get the idea of what we're heading for. And then we're going to come back and take a look at some of the, again, solo strategies that I think are going to work for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, so that's the tune. It is definitely a beautiful Christmas carol. And like I said, it does lend itself well to sort of that medium swing. I think one of the best ways to approach this particular tune is just to kind of think in the key of F. It doesn't really stray too far from the key of F. It does some 2/5s of minor keys here and there, but it's really, if you just think of it in the key of F. In fact, if I just played a blues scale on top of this, it would probably work. Now, that's going to get kind of boring, but if you're not familiar with the blues scale, that's something you could definitely use over top of this. The other thing that I think you need to think about when you're playing this is to kind of spell the chords as much as possible, because there's a lot of them going by, and it gives you the opportunity to not just play block chords, but spell the chords as you're playing them. For example, if you take a look at where in the third bar it says B half diminished seventh, if you just spell the chords for each of the chords from that point forward like this, it kind of gives you the sense of movement, the sense of being able to cover the chords, and it just makes a nice way of approaching soloing. Okay, so let's take a look at the first 2 bars where you've got this 1, 6, 2, 5. So that's a pretty standard kind of thing where you've got 1, so the key of F, it's F, D, 7, G minor 7, and C7. So what you can do with that is obviously you can spell the chords, but then you can also use the bebop scale, which is this. So, and the reason why the bebop scale works well is because it has 8 notes instead of 7. All I did there was play the chords in the left hand and just played straight 8s in the right hand. So that's nice. If you just mix that in with spelling of the chords, you get something like this. And that is good soloing. I mean, it's not great as I'm showing it to you as an exercise, but essentially when you filter that into your playing while you're doing a solo, it's a great way to think about it. Just think about an F bebop scale with the spelling of the chords together. And then if you throw blues in on top of that, that can work as well. Okay, let's go on to this second section where you've got all of these chords in a row, which is basically B, B flat, A minor, A flat 7, and G minor. So you've got B half diminished 7th, B flat 7, A half diminished 7th, A flat 7, and then it goes to G minor, and then C. So there's your 2/5 at the end, which is nice. And basically what this is the A half diminished 7th is 3, and then this is 6, which is D7, but the tritone substitution is A flat 7. So that's kind of interesting. So one of the things you can do there is just play the bebop scale as well. I mean, it works. The other thing is, again, spell the chords. So even if we're playing the chord, each of those chords in root position, it's. So again, that's not great soloing, but you can see that if you're mixing the chords in with the scales, it kind of works. then it basically just repeats that section again, and the B section is no different. It's still all in the key of F. Again, soloing techniques are basically the same. Let's try it spelling the chords. Spelling the chords, yeah, and the bebop scale works as well. And a little blues. And I think it shouldn't be that difficult, especially, if you're intermediate to an advanced player. There's a lot you can do with that because, again, the chords, even though there's a lot of them, it's sticking to the key of F. So just thinking in F blues, F bebop, and spelling of the chords, and you're going to end up with a great solo. It's not that difficult to do. Just be inventive. Try to think up little melodies as you're playing along, and that'll really help. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We are making a bunch of Christmas sheet music tutorials these days. Again, just quickly, I'm going to put the link to this sheet music below so that you can download it and practice it. I've written out the chords as best as I think would represent the chord symbols that I've given. So, go ahead and practice it. If you record it, I'd love to hear it. So you can post a comment below and link to the recording, or just let me know where I can see it and see how you're doing. All right, thanks a lot for your time.